first one I want to talk about are the daddy issues, right? And listen, because I mean,
Yeah.
you go there.
Yeah.
I heard you in your conversation with Nick. I heard you in your conversation with Cam that you really delve deeply into the root of some of our dysfunction. And often it is through the daddy issue.
is.
Now, you know, I see that all the time as judge of paternity court and We the People, where people get themselves in these legal sagas that they can't get themselves out of, or they begin to perpetuate a generational curse
Yep.
that they cannot seem to break. And often it's connected to a daddy issue. Can you talk
100%.
a little bit about that, Dr.
I
Bryant?
love the generational curse thing. It is a transgenerational pathology, a dysfunctional pattern that continues from generation to generation to generation. What daddy issues looks like on a woman is different from a man. And so I always say, right, what a woman is what her daddy makes her.
Ooh.
And a man is what his mama makes him. However, if a man is fatherless, okay, and he associates his father to being deadbeat, to being a loser, to being an abandoner, to being a neglectful person, to being a low life, every time that man, regardless of his race, looks in that mirror and sees a man being himself, he also identifies himself with those same associations. And so what happens is, as he creates this narrative around how I view my fatherless father,
Yes.
he also becomes that through his self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
And why it is so deeply rooted is he also creates, because we can teach what we know, but we create who we are. So he starts to create.
Ooh, wait, hold on now. Let me catch that. We can
Teach what we know,
what we know,
but we create who we are.
but we create who we are. Yes.
Right.
And you know what's so interesting? Because I often said on the bench, and I would always say this, that you can be the father you never had, or you can be the father you never had. Same
Love that.
sentence, two very different meanings,
Yes,
right? But
yes.
exactly what you're saying,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And that you can either get in there and do all the things you didn't have, or you can get in there and perpetuate the dysfunction, the fatherlessness that you lived through and experienced.
Yeah.
And I think a part of these conversations, what I think is so important, is to really talk to people about how to get unstuck
on
from these
now.
things, right? Because listen, we all have some type of daddy issue. You and I connected on this. Now, you know, I was telling you I created a whole new YouTube series called Paternity Matters, right? About my daddy, and we both lost our dads last
Yes, we
year.
did,
And
we
so
did.
much synergy. And one of the issues I deal with is if people don't treat me and love me like my daddy or be excited about me like my daddy, then I'm
Then
like,
it's a problem.
well, hold on now.
It's a
You know,
problem.
I'll be in a relationship
Yes, yes.
and somebody walk in and it's like, well, don't you see me? Because my daddy would have done a full on cry, baby. You hear, and when you're not getting that in your relationship, that's a daddy issue in and of itself. No one is